But there wasn't a time where they said that my twins, even though are biracial, were having racial identity issues. Um, One twin told my older son, because my older son is really chocolate. He's a chocolate, beautiful young man. But anyway, I'm biased. He's a beautiful chocolate young man. But my twin told him, we heard him say, "That's why you're black." Wait a minute, like, wait, where did that come from? And so with that conversation, I started asking him not to. One thing I did learn is I didn't want to make him feel bad about his comment, right? Because I know that that can have a very adverse effect of what I wanted. But I started asking him more questions, like, tell me more about that. Where did that come from? Why do you feel that way? You know. And he was like, and I asked him, I said, well, what color are you? He was like, I'm white. Really? Right. And people who know me were kind of, I've had this conversation. Even my niece was like, Aunt Keeley, like, what? You minored in Black history. Like, where's this coming from? And my niece was like, oh, that's it. We're doing Black history studies every week until you understand. And I said, no, we don't want to do that, because if we don't do it carefully, we can actually push him in another direction. Right. So we started to have more conversations. Instead of bringing that back up about that conversation, I started to be more intentional with the books that he was reading, the books that he was surrounded with, the story time, bedtime stories that we were looking at, some of the movies that we were watching as a family. And so I started to be more intentional in setting, kind of like what a pre-K teacher does. We set the environment so that he can learn from the environment, and we can start having those conversations through the environment and allowing him to explore and learn that way, and then continuing to have these challenging conversations. So that's kind of how that kind of changed and shifted.